Yes. Goodness my. Giddy aunt. Never mind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SCP, Secret Files. You didn't want it, you didn't ask for it, you didn't order it, and it doesn't even work, but here it is anyway. When in close contact, check the experimental procedures again and again. Or alternatively, just read them once and then remember them, instead of having to check the manual when you are in contact with highly corrosive substances, which are very likely to become monsters and eat your face. Anyway, that isn't the point. Make sure that you don't get silly tattoos on your hands. Make sure that you don't punch books and flatten them with your karate chopping fingers while also bouncing test tubes on top of your hands. Make sure that you don't try to balance energy drinks in the back of your hand. Don't try to insert things into the orifice of robots, and small thimbles are going to emit radio signals, according to this wall. Right then, never mind, enough of this ridiculous frivolity. Let's get on with actually playing the game, because I was really rather impressed with it. How fortuitous, and by fortuitous I mean serendipitous. What's with this floating box, for goodness sake? Oh, that's better. It was just balanced on top of the bottle. I see, that must be the latest tactic. I see. I didn't understand. I'm sorry, what the hell happened? I seemed to get frozen in place for a second when I walked into this room. Presumably I had such horrifically traumatic memories of being in this room, probably of having an annual performance evaluation, instead of having cake with flowers on it, which is what actually seems to be being served here, and I blacked out for a minute due to the trauma of it all. Anyway, I've put the volume of the majority of the game down, and I've put the audio capture in OBS up a little bit in the hope of making the voices a bit more audible, given that they were rather quiet last time. What does it say? On April 27th, local time... Yes, local time is local time, not local date, right? I mean, for crying out loud, what were you doing? Island hopping between the international date line? 5 students were involved in a collective something or other incident at the Cleveland Institute of Arts Drama Club in Ohio. And another faculty member died of stab wounds. A janitor was taken into custody as a suspect on the incident. His statement mentioned that 4 students used something or other from the cleaning during rehearsal. This was then repeated by the last remaining person after they assaulted the teacher. The teacher died 2 hours later. Following a forensic investigation of the scene, it was determined the janitor had no clear motive for committing the crime. He is currently undergoing further observation in a psychiatric hospital. Is motive a thing they actually, goodness, more mathematics? Is motive actually utilised very much in actual sort of criminal investigations? Because obviously it's a big part of dramatised lawyering and such like. But does it actually form much of a purpose in a real investigation? Excuse me, you're knocking on the door, trying to summon someone who's a bit better at this than I am. I don't frankly blame you. Yes, because I mean, surely if they did it, and there's proof they did it, why they did it doesn't really matter. Oh, here's some more of the rehearsal script. Yes, but Gonzalo, an ambassador, a Goladodod. Indeed, it sounds like a thoroughly thrilling play. My goodness. I'm just going to completely ignore all of the everything that's going on around here, and wonder what I'm doing here. Why? You were testing an SCP in here? What under the sun were you testing? Its ability to play freaking chess? I presume the answer to that question is no. What am I to do then? What is my next objective? I don't seem to be able to go through this door, if you could laughingly describe it as a door. So, I must have missed something. There must be a little something somewhere that I haven't seen. Perhaps something has changed back in the experiment room? I don't remember this drippiness occurring before. Everything the same in here? Well, there's still blood all over the floor, which is tremendous. There's still the end of the universe out there. Yes, seldom do good things, such as sausage rolls and kittens, smash windows. I presume this is still not functioning. Electricity needed. Ah, is that my objective? I feel like we've probably read this before. Okay, so my objective is to get the power back on. That seems fair enough. I assume by sort of opening my inventory and such like I can't, no, I can't find any way of accessing an objective of some kind. Alright, so we need to get the power back on. This is a fire hose, not an electrical cable. So we've got a sort of a zappity cable here. Perhaps if we could plug this back into something, we might be able to get some electricity running. That seems somewhat sort of reasonable. Except I don't seem to be able to do it, which shouldn't really surprise any of you, given that I don't have a degree in electrical appliance operation. So you're going to have to forgive me for a moment while I bash my head against the wall and try to figure out what under the sun it is that I've done wrong. Well, I mean, what I've done wrong is everything since the moment I was born. But, you know, if we could narrow it down to specifically what I've done wrong in order to lead me into this ballsed-up situation, that would be lovely. Oh goodness! Oh goodness! Oh, there we are. That's mended all of that. Isn't that better? Can I do things on the computer? Can I play video games? To all personnel of Pony Station, research on SCP-701 will officially begin tomorrow. In order to prevent dissemination of classified information, all video surveillance equipment has been removed. All external signal transmissions have accordingly been blocked. The site will be kept under closed-loop management procedures until the conclusion of the research experiment. At present, the experiment is still in need of more participants. All willing participants can find Miss Irene Mabel in the archives room on the 4th floor to fill in the necessary paperwork. You know, the SCP Foundation really don't strike me as who shut the door? Really don't strike me as the type to ask for volunteers. Oh goodness, they've gone. Little beasts. Yes. So the mannequins must have something to do with this, right? Because the mannequins seem to be reenacting the poses of the individuals who were preparing for the play. So perhaps the individuals got turned into mannequins, or perhaps the mannequins have come in order to somehow take their places. If the souls of the workers here have been vamoosed, as it were, and nabbed. Yes. 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 And these people have come to take their place. Interesting. North bum. Rot then. Let us continue with our life and proceed towards this light of the Borg. Hello, friend. Yes, bow your head in. My goodness. Them some flexible hips. Yes, bow your head in shame for the having the indecency to be seen by me. In fairness, oh goodness, better drop my thing. I don't really know where my thing goes. I have the distinct impression I don't have any more things, actually. Oh dear. Who's breathing in my ear? His voices are very breathy. Oh my goodness. Oh, there! Do the thing! Yes! Use those lasers and zap the villains, or whatever it is that we're dealing with at the moment. My goodness. Oh goodness! Can I knock them over? Oh, I can! What a tremendously fun game! I can shock them and, well, not paralyse them, sort of the opposite of paralyse them, send them completely limp by merely subjecting them to the smell of my bodice. This is far too much fun. Oh, I just want to wander around this warehouse and bowl everyone over. Oh my goodness! How did that happen? Did they fall from the... Oh look, there's a load more up there. They're enjoying the show. Yeah, seriously, was that a bug? Or did one of them actually fall from the ceiling? Oh no, they stand up again later when you stop looking at them. That's a shame. I wanted to knock them all over and see if we got an achievement. Oh well, never mind. There's a person in a hazmat suit here that I mistook for being a Yeti, but never mind. Can I do anything with this? This looks sort of important. This looks like a bank card. Oh, it's actually a security card, but I suppose those are vaguely similar to one another. And indeed, here is some more of the script with some more funny named people in. Excellent. Right, never mind any of that rubbish. I don't believe that we can fiddle around with any of the stage accoutrement. So we're just going to have to carry on regardless.
All going to the same place.
But my idiot. The only place they're going at the moment is onto the frickin' floor. I don't know why this is entertaining, but for some silly, childish reason, I find this frightfully entertaining to watch these silly billies fall over. Probably because they've been quite scary up to this point, and now they just look silly. Okay, let's open this door and see what we find on the other side. Oh goodness, it's the stage. Can I shut this door behind me? You're looking very, oh! Ask and thou shalt receive. Goodness, that makes my life a lot easier, doesn't it? Right, what's with all of the crumpled tissues here?
The black box.
Hmm? Oh, goodness, yes, it looks like the internet from the IT crowd. My sincere apologies. Sorry, I thought somebody was having a hell of an event here with all of the crumpled tissues and the knocked over chair. But, no, my mind was wandering, as it so often does at this hour of the evening. Forgive me. Alright. It seems a funny place to keep this incredibly important device that we really ought to have been keeping more secure than this, but never mind. I'll pretend like everything's absolutely fine. Don't think there's anywhere that I can go. I'll just pick this up and I'll be on my way out of here if you don't mind. The black box from Pony Station with important data inside. Yes. I'm sure my kitty owns. That sounds a scary noise. Alright. Alright. This is going suspiciously well at the moment, and I don't wholly trust it to carry on going this well. We also haven't seen a mannequin in at least 100 meters, so again that makes me feel a little nervous about life. Is there anything hidden under the stairs? Oh no, oh no, I forgot, yeah, this game just has really, really delayed footsteps. What is this? A well-constructed handmade doll of SCP-049. Oh. Oh goodness, I got a hidden item. I got a little sort of adorable plushie thing, if you like your adorable little plushies to give you horrific nightmares. That's nice, that's cute. I'm glad I eventually found something under a staircase after spending the entirety of my childhood and adulthood searching under the staircases in video games in the hope of finding something. At last it's come true and I can stop bothering. No, you're supposed to fall down after I walk at you, unless my pungent aroma has gotten even worse, that while he was clinging to the ceiling like a Sullivan, he could still smell me and die from it. So, there's that to think about. The sun is going on. So these footsteps, they sound like they're about 3 meters behind me. It's very disturbing. Alright. There's a door here, but I doubt it's going to open to my left, so I'm going to try going this way. See what we can find. Oh, it's elevator. Oh, goodness. I'm not in control anymore. I've been supplanted. Oh, we are actually going up. Again, nothing seems to have gone wrong, and yet this woman seems to be in a catatonic state. So, something must go wrong between here and the hospital.
Bella, we really need you to tell us the truth here.
What do you mean? I'm telling you the truth. I completed my task. I retrieved the black box from Pony Station.
Looks like the cognito hazards really did a number on her.
What are you talking about? I'm fine.
Bella, there was no black box in sight when we found you.
That's impossible. I'm positive. I know I had it in the escape elevator.
And there is no escape elevator in Pony Station. None of what you're saying adds up.
But that's impossible. It's just impossible.
Look at me, Bella. try and focus. What really happened?
What really happened?
Bella, think carefully.
I...
You know, oh my goodness. You know, fella, if you want me to look at you, you might do yourself a favour and do me a favour at the same time and turn the light on. Right, I see. So it did all go too tremendously well, and something had to go horrifically wrong. Oh, good. I was having a little hallucination. What under the sun is that?
Where's the black box?
I don't know, but I do spy something brown. I think it's sitting in a chair. Oh, goodness. I didn't mind that before because it locked me off from all the mannequins, but now I think I'm going to get locked in here with you. Hello, friend. Man alive, you really pack the houses in this place, don't you? Well, this is just charming. My goodness. And they say the lively arts are brutal. My goodness, I don't think that happens to most folks in this situation. Check. Check for what, precisely? Signs of life? You have suspiciously well-defined toes, my friend. Alright, I'll have a feel around. Goodness. I did need that chap to get in kissing distance.
Not again.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh bollocks! That's highly loud! My goodness, let me turn that down a little bit. Alright, I need to run the hell away. Except not that way, a different way. My goodness me. Okay, would you lot stop pointing your waggly fingers at me? Oh my giddy aunt. I can't run directly toward him. Thank you for shushing. I can't run directly towards him, because he'll just, like, come round to whatever side I'm at. But then I can't wait either, because then he runs too fast. Is the door behind me open? Is that it? No. Can I hide behind him? No. No seems to be the answer to all my questions. Oh my goodness me. If yeah. So I can't run backwards, I can't run left, I can't run right, and I can't run forward. Where exactly am I supposed to go? Up? Idiot. Seriously, how the hell am I meant to bloody survive this? Like that, apparently.
Police station will have to be locked down. That much is for certain.
Apparently I do it like that. Goodness knows I don't know what I did from that time that I didn't do the other times, but never mind. Here's a piece of paper, let's read it. Oh my giddy aunt. The rehearsal has officially begun. Positively brilliant. My hands are shaking now as I write. Oh, that would explain your horrific handwriting. I thought that was just because you were a doctor. This experiment, the exciting avenues ahead, although some sections stray from the original SCP-701 script, everyone remained perfectly in character, wholly consumed in their act. The audience, too, seemed entirely absorbed by the performance. A strange thing, though, I noticed a certain something, a person, perhaps, appear on the stage. he was not one of our original members, but he was quiet and reserved, rather friendly, a tribute to Ambassador Agagalagagod. Indeed. That is, it must be the truth, the splendid, magnificent truth. Yes. The writing that flows is obscured by bloodstains. And by flows, you mean follows.
SCP-701 is a script. One performance and all police stations removed. Dr. Cooper, what have you done?
Yeah, that sounds a lot like an SCP, if you ask me. And here's somebody getting their arm broken or alternatively... chuck down the stairs. If I bowl this one over, will he fall down the stairs? Oh, he will, in a very wiggledy-piggledy pile. Excellent. Mike, what have you done with that man's foot? Actually, don't answer that question. I don't want to know what you people do with your feet. Frankly, I worry about answers to questions like that. Right, if the whole heckin' lot of you could stop being quite so violent for 5 minutes, you know, the whole heckin' load of you need to go into time out. Yes, I'm going to deal with them as well. Stop pointing your waggly fingers. None of you will be free of this.
Where were they heading?
A different direction to where we went before.
Where have all those volunteers gone?
I don't think they ever left, if I'm completely frank with you. Anything over here that we can read? No, but it's a staple gun! Which, frankly, sounds like a good thing to defend myself with, which explains why I'm leaving it behind. Oh goodness, I found all the scripts. I really, really, really don't think I should be reading this. Also, I don't think I have read them all, because it says I've only got 7 of them, but never mind. We'll pretend like, I actually achieved something with my day instead of just knocking over a load of mannequins. My Gideons. I'd lose my job in the department store very quickly, wouldn't I, if I just went around breaking all the mannequins all day long. This is seriously more comedic than I think it's meant to be. Especially when they have silly poses like that. You just knock them over. My goodness, those are some global curves you've got there. Right, never mind any of that silliness. Apparently she's supposed to be a serious horror game. We're supposed to be scared. I apologise. It's a little difficult to be scared when you're this amused. Oh good. It looks like we're delving into the lair of Killer Croc. Excellent. Goodness. They employed a lot of staff here, didn't they? Yes, they did, and these ones aren't even mannequins.
Fuck. Guess this is the ending of their SCP-701. The Hanged King's treasure.
Is that for me? Ah, yes. Thank you. I get the distinct impression it might be. Oh goodness, my socks are all wet. What will my mother say? Oh my goodness. Not a massive fan of heights, and this completely vertical waterfall isn't helping. Not to imply, of course, you're going to find a horizontal waterfall anywhere around here, but you know what I meant.
I serve my... Who's there?
Oh, not you again.
What the fuck?
Am I a mannequin? I don't know, I haven't got a bod, but never... Oh, goodness. These people are thinking very carefully about whether or not I'm a mannequin. My giddy aunt, I like the lighting. It's very, very unsettling. Also, there's a very big person here. Hello, very big person. My giddy aunt, I'm glad to see the lively arts are not discriminatory. Hello, oh, you're murdering him! Good! That's excellent. I thought you were doing something else in this department. Never mind. Check. Why do I keep doing this?
Sacrifice his head and seek redemption with his blood.
Kill him! Kill him! A despicable usurper does not deserve the glorious crown!
Why does the dialogue and the subtitles not match?
What is going on?
Oh.
It's the goddamn cognito hazard again. I need to leave right now.
Okay, yes, that seems perfectly reasonable, but here's the thing. Why do I somehow doubt that this convenient door here is actually our solution? My idiot. I appear to... Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Press the button. Press the button. Giddy aunt. That was very pugilistic for somebody made of wood. Right. Let's carry on with our little soiree. I assume I can't run. I can press the run button, but it won't do any good. Oh, not again. Ow, my face. Oh, no more quick time events. Oh, thank you. My goodness, I thought we were going to pull a Resident Evil 4 on me then. Yes, you're the next one, aren't you? See you coming from a mile away. Ow! I barely even have a face and that hurts. These are quick time events always the same buttons, I'm grateful for that. My giddy aunt. I'm, Ow! Literally knocked her block off. Oh my giddy aunts.
I need to leave.
Yeah, you can say that again, my darling. Man alive, this is visually very interesting. Alright. Let's just appreciate the fact that the exit doesn't seem to be tremendously far away. I cannot get over how the main part of the world is moving at a normal frame rate, and then the mannequins in these papers are moving much more slowly. Hello. 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 Goodness. Must be executioner con. And they've all turned up to show off their battle axes. Which I do not just mean their irritating mother-in-laws. Do I need to check this? Oh no, I need to collect it. It's a letter opener. Oh goodness, we're doing this again apparently.
With my blood, I serve my king.
And why is it his blood you're going to draw?
With my blood, I serve my king.
That might be difficult given he's already dead.
With my blood, I serve my king.
Yeah, we're not stupid things to say now. Kind of get on with it.
With my blood, I serve my king. With my blood, I serve my king. With my blood, I serve my king.
Oh. I actually thought stabbing it was a bad idea, but no, apparently it's fine. Well, isn't that just bully?
Her condition is unstable. I've just injected her with a sedative, and you'll need to let her rest for a while.
Thanks, Doctor. Well, let's go then.
What? We haven't found the black box yet.
You still don't get it, do you?
Get what? What do you mean?
A black box is merely a vehicle for recording the truth. But a black box isn't always a black box.
You mean...
That's right. She is now the black box. Got time for a cold one? Because our work here is done.
What under the sun is that? And why does it seem to have eyes and a mouth? A little pair of orange trousers on. I thought it was a box of Quality Street at first. Right. Right.
Serve my king.
Oh goodness, not this again.
Blissful suffocation. Sacrifice of sin.
Lovely.
The black box has been properly contained at Site 105 and pending further investigation. Above is the full record of the inquiry.
Right. Thank you for writing the instructions here again, because goodness knows I've forgotten it all. My giddy aunt. Okay, so, the hell? So, there's this place with this name that sounds kind of amusing when said in the accents of these voice actors, and there was a script for a play, and then people read it, and then they turned into mannequins, apart from the one that turned into the big disintegrating beast made of chains and fire. And now this woman's in an institution? Alright, tremendous, my goodness. What am I doing with my life now? Okay, I've clicked the red underline thing, unless I have to click these as well, but probably I don't have to do that. After clicking, the data dragging effect will be activated. Drag it onto the archive system to the right, or do I have to do that? Well, here we are, yes. Put this here! Yes, there we are. We did a thing. Am I just putting these in here then? There isn't like a specific order or anything? Alright. I'll transfer all my files over. Good, good, good. After entering all the data, click the submit button to complete the task. Hooray! I think we did it. Can we close the program now? No, no we can't. What a tragedy. Never mind. I am utterly befuddled, bemused and bewildered, but never mind. I think this is perhaps the point. Good? Why? Good because I was confused or that I got over it. I have to admit you're no worse than I expected. How about a taco night? Alright, we're going to have some mysticism in my response about tacos. Alright. Are we really being used as living tools to contain anomalous objects? Ah, yes. Is that what they were using the woman for in order to contain it? I feel like that was more of a fact-finding mission and they were just trying to figure out what under the sun was going on, unless they actually already knew about the experimentation with 701 and they merely wanted to send somebody in there in order to go in there and not die? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I've seen a great many field agents. They are prepared to sacrifice themselves at any time in order to complete a task. For them, it is a creed worth paying the ultimate price for, and it is our duty to record it all truthfully and honestly, so that people may remember them forever. My goodness, you aren't making grandiose statements in the slightest. Alright, fair dues. Whatever. If it means I don't get killed, I'm happy. You completed your first mission smoothly. We should celebrate. How about drinks, old place? I wish I had the faintest idea what you were talking about. Alright, but I can't drink too much. I've got to go home and feed the cat later. Which isn't actually an accurate statement. Yes, you said that before. You didn't say that before. But alright. To celebrate the completion of my first archive mission, my colleagues threw a small party. It all started to grow on me, my colleagues in this place. I started to enjoy it. Maybe it was merely the drinking. I dreamt I was lost in a strange cave. It was dark and damp and smelled of decay. In the depths of the darkness, I saw at all times 2 red dots monitoring my every move. What a strange dream. Tequila is too strong of a drink. I need an espresso to sober me up. Oh, well, I'm glad we can progress the dialogue by choice this time around. Alright, well, I'm glad we didn't have to go through the party bit, because goodness knows I know how to deal with monsters and demons, but dealing with socialization is completely beyond me. So, let us carry on. Day 2 of job, I think. Do we have to go through another lecture? Perhaps. Perhaps yes, perhaps no. Files. An earthen womb! What the hell are you babbling on about? Object is an irregular clay pot with a height of 23 centimeters and a diameter of 28, but do not be fooled by its appearance. It is an organism, a womb. Yes, an earthen womb. What under the sun are you babbling on about, you bizarre Microsoft Word document? SCP-660 may be safely stored in the standard safe deposit box, provided its mouth remains covered with an inert perspex disc, and it is sealed with tamper-proof tape. So it's a womb, but it's also got a mouth on it. Right, please tell me I don't have to look at this, because I have just had my dinner, and I don't think it's going to stay down if I see it. Log of test involving human experimentation with 660. Sample condition, skin flap. That's not a good phrase. And sticking the word harvested after it doesn't help either. From the cadaver of the left thigh of 612. Donor was healthy in all respects prior to death. Well, clearly not, because they died. Seldom do the healthy die. Well, unless they're killed, of course, but that's beside the point. Sample use. Tissue left in 660 for 2 months duration. Results. Daily biopsies, whatever under the sun that means, indicates viability of sample. Cell samples taken from tissue graft are cultivated in vitro, revealing a predisposition towards pre-cancerous and cancerous growth. I still have no idea what you're talking about. What is it with left thighs and you people? left him for 2 months, and then grafted onto torso of D-class personnel with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. The recipient's anomaly testing record had no contradictions with 660. Result tissue graft takes without complication, healing according to usual steps of adherence, blah 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 blah. However, as is common with severe burn cases, the compromised skin barrier led to infection and eventual fatal septic shock. Post-mortem biopsies and analysis indicates skin graft would have returned to full histological structure and function had the recipient survived. Right, okay, so it's like some sort of incubator, presumably? Why are we talking about snot? I don't know. Alright. It seems as if it's some sort of incubator for growing stuff. Mice? What are you talking about? I guess I have to take your word for it. How did that feel? Suffocating and stretching. Could you be more specific? How the hell do you think it felt? Even mice need to grow and move and live. Every part of me was straining, but I was stuck. I thought I would explode. Full contents of the interview are classified, probably because they're so disgusting. An autopsy revealed precancerous growths throughout the mouse's body. How did D614 turn into a mouse? Never mind. What does this do? Oh, we're just moving this stuff? Oh, so this isn't going to activate anything. Alright, is there any other information? Right arm lost in traumatic amputation just beneath the elbow. D778 was severely injured in an incident involving an unknown SCP. Lost limb recovering as part of cleanup operation. Subject would not have survived immediate reattachment surgery due to other injuries involving severe vascular compromise. Severed extremity preserved in 660 in bid to preserve tissue viability. Result, right arm successfully reattached to previous owner. Suggesting that 660 took ownership of it once it took it within itself. My giddy aunt. To be honest with you, if I lost a limb and then it had been shoved through some random thing's mouth and then left in its womb for a while, I'm not wholly sure I'd want the thing back. Subject reports return of sensation in fingers of right hand, contrary to prior prognosis due to severe tissue avulsion and nerve damage sustained in initial injury. Biopsy reveals little to no precancerous growth cells. Transplant ruled a tentative success. My giddy aunt. Addendum. Human testing with 660 is suspended due to sudden death of 778 from teratonia with malignant transplant. There's a lot of big science-y words in here, and I don't know any of them. Alright. What? Never have I had one grab my probe. Maybe if you stopped probing them, they would. Oh my giddy aunt. Right, I don't even want to know what the hell they're doing with this thing. My giddy aunt. The internal workings of the human body are disgusting enough as they are. We certainly do not need any descriptions of what under the sun is going on with all of this stuff. So am I sort of taking the full information that we have about it and then creating the kind of SCP document in the sense of its classification, containment procedures, its main description, and then any addendums and interviews and such like. All right, I did my thing. Oh goodness, I think this is a different thing. Oh, this is an evil thing perhaps. Yes, addendums to this. What is this exactly? It is a plantation of 300 specimens of a unique type of tree. The trees are similar in appearance to, I'm not even going to try and pronounce this, or cherry blossoms, that I can pronounce. They bear no fruit, and the only known way of reproduction is by careful own-root propagation using cut samplings from an older sample. The petals are of a light pinkish colour, slightly translucent with a texture of smooth glass. Care must be taken when handling the petals as their edges are razor sharp and can easily slice through flesh if mishandled. Ah, there's a mistake you won't make twice. Right. The trees were grown on site from a sapling obtained from parent plants located in Japan in 1905. The parent trees were owned by a family of traditional swordsmiths, claiming to be descended from a legendary swordsmith. They referred to the trees as the Bladewood Grove, as it is from there that the Foundation gained the techniques to cut and work the wood and petals into serviceable items. The original trees are still in Japan, owned by the government, and still tended to by the same family. However, the government has denied all existence of the trees, and any products made from them are kept within the country. SCP-143 is to be watered twice every day on a regular basis via a large sprinkler system, unless already watered by local rain. Personnel are not allowed to enter the enclosure without a Level 4 administrative clearance and are not advised to touch any of SCP-143, nor stand beneath them unless wearing proper protective gear. It is important that no one be within the containment area when SCP-143 begins to shed. However, after the shedding has concluded, the collection of fallen petals for testing purposes has been authorized by the project director. Document 143A. We lost 3 staff to 143 today. They were collecting petals dropped by the tree the previous day when a sudden gust picked up, shaking a good deal of the petals from the tree and blowing them around. Suddenly, stayed that windy for the whole day. I'd send a cleanup crew, but it's still pretty windy and the odd petal is still falling. We'll have to pick up the remains when the wind dies in a couple of days. Oh, you mean the remains of the bodies? I thought you meant the remaining leaves. My sincere apologies. Alright, so it's very hard, judging by the hardness test, which is an excellent name, my giddy aunt. Able to withstand extremely high temperatures, and other such things. Yes, very, very strong. Yes, indeed. Alright, funny plant. Indeed, my giddy aunt. Alright, let's chuck all of this information in here, now that we seem to know a little bit more about it. Good opportunity to learn about slightly more obscure SCPs that you generally wouldn't know very much about. Man alive. I mean, you know, I've been hit in the face by a couple of branches that fell off trees in a big storm, but, you know, I've never had one slice my face off. Alright, what do we have here? Do we have the description here? The description to me is always more useful than the containment procedures. It begs the question why they're at the top, but never mind. SCP-261 appears to be a large black vending machine with no front glass panel and a small keypad to the right side. Ah, I think I am vaguely familiar with this one, actually. SCP-261 was recovered in Japan and was brought to the Foundation's attention after investigation of an urban legend about a magic vending machine that was circulating on the internet. SCP-261, man alive, if the SCP Foundation went around chasing every single urban myth on the internet, they would never get anything else done. SCP-261 was found in a back alley behind a large shopping centre with a handwritten note saying "out of order" in Japanese taped to it. SCP-261 has no marks or identification of any kind, and no locals remember when or how it came to be in its current location. I don't know what this is. After a key was made and the front door opened, no abnormal materials were found, and it was determined that SCP-216 had never actually contained any food or beverage items. The keypad, while connected and operating correctly, does not activate any dispensing mechanisms. When money is placed into SCP-261 and a 3-digit number is entered into the keypad, 261 will send a random item. 261 has not accepted any currency other than, I believe it's pronounced yuan, but I could be mistaken, or maybe I'm muddling out with the Chinese currency. I do sincerely apologize if that is the case. With rejected currency being deposited in the coin return slot. It is unknown how these items appear, however. SCP-261 will not operate when the door is open or when recording devices are placed inside. The number entered on the keypad has no effect on the item vended, nor has any pattern been detected. Items are always some form of snack food, typically having bright attention-grabbing packaging. It is capable of operating with no external power supply, but operation in this state will cause unstable vending to occur much more quickly than normal. That sounds thrilling. Some sort of schizophrenic snacks fly out of it at breakneck speed, presumably. If 261 is used several times in a short period of time, or large amounts of money are entered before an item is vended, 261 will start to dispense bizarre items. While still food, their suitability for human consumption is often non-existent. You could have just said black pudding and we all would have understood what you were talking about. Alright, so this is a different vending machine from the one I was thinking about. I was thinking about the one in SCP Containment Breach, the one where you can type in anything and it will make anything come out, like you can type in like lava or and then you die, you know, as is usually the case. How interesting. All right then. How is it being contained out of interest? Presumably just in a box. Access must be approved by staff with level 2 security clearance or higher. Any and all items dispensed must be recorded along with the amount of money entered and the amount of time elapsed between uses. Currently may only used 10 times in a 24-hour period, or a day as the rest of us call them, with no transactions exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. Testing approved by site commander is not under these restrictions. Items dispensed should be reviewed by staff health and safety officials before consumption. Failure to do so releases the Foundation from any obligation regarding negative effects. I cannot believe you people actually have legal obligations. You're just a bunch of kooks that keep crazy things in boxes. How under the sun do you have any legal backing? Items deemed dangerous or useful to research will be confiscated by site security, with financial compensation provided in proportion to money spent. Right, okay, I'm going to pretend like I know what the hell you're talking about. Let's pop this in here. What was that? I don't know. I don't know, it didn't say. Maybe that was the bit I already put in. What sort of things has it got out? Coke Zero, a can of Diet Coke, packaging in English. Cheetos, small bag of Cheeto snack food, packaging in English. Black, a single pack of caffeinated chewing gum. Caffeine in chewing gum, my giddy aunt. Yan, a single yan cone with peach dripping frosting, packaging in Japanese. Right, the company does not produce this flavour. Alright, fair enough. Pepsi, Dragon Twist. I don't think they make that either. The PepsiCo company does not produce this product. No, I'm not surprised. My giddy aunt. Oh, Dragon Fruit. Oh, that makes vague sense. Dark Side Cola. Yes, it's got Darth Vader in it or something. A can with clear plastic sides, packaging in Japanese. Liquid is clear. When opened, liquid appears to react with the air and changes dark black over a period of several seconds. The black coloration looks like billowing smoke and cannot be reversed. The liquid's taste has been described as cola with something spicy in it. How very scientific. I feel like I'm just sitting here reading stuff, but you know, it's kind of interesting, so deal with it. The Little Bakery 7 Grain, a small tube the size of a candy bar, because those don't vary in the slightest, with a green button made of aluminium and packaging in English. When the top is twisted off, a mass of dough is extruded. What an excellent word. Dough contains several enzymes and bacteria which have not yet been identified. On contact with air, these cause the dough to rise and bake, killing the microbes in the process. Produces a small, round loaf of bread weighing 250 grams. Taste described as good but chewy. Again, also chewy is not part of the taste, it's part of the texture and the consistency, but that isn't the point. Lemon clams. Oh good, two things I can't stand. Thick plastic bag with a plastic tube on one side containing water and 12 clams, packaging in Dutch. Following the on-package instructions, the plastic tube was cracked like a glow stick. Liquid in the bag flashed to steam, venting from a hole that popped open. Oh, it's one of the sort of cook itself bags. Alright, what are you talking about? Diet Ghost, a can containing an instance, thank you, face, of SCP-2107. Packaging in English. Testing done on this instance provided similar results to contain instances of 2107. This marks the first time 261 has vended another SCP object. How curious. I have no idea what this is, but presumably it's some sort of a very skinny ghost. Small mesh bag filled with small multicolored pyramids, packaging in unknown language. Pyramids found to be very hard and unpleasant tasting. Well, yes, if you leave something out in the sun for 4,000 years, that's going to happen. Compared to chalk in tasting. How do you know what that tastes like, you muppet? What are you doing, licking blackboards? When placed in hot water, pyramids open and produce strings. They quickly dissolve, colouring the water the same shade as the pyramid. Water had no additional taste, but testing revealed a sharp increase in mineral, carbohydrate, and protein content, with several minerals unidentified at present time. This content was found to be consistent with the recommended daily intake of nutrients for adult humans. Research ingesting the water reported stomach cramps 2 hours later, with no other effects. My giddy aunt. Aluminium box with a small glass window on the side and a large round button at the top, packaging in an unknown language. Box is seamless and appears to be filled with small round animals, covered in fur, each of these with 3 small paws and a single large eye. Oh my giddy aunt. This is like the combination of a Furby and a Tribble. Pressing the button causes the inside of the box to rapidly become superheated, kicking the small animals alive. Muffled noises and scratching are heard for several seconds during the cooking process. My giddy aunt. After 1 minute and 30 seconds, the front panel opens and gives access to the now cooked animals. Dr. Klein volunteered to eat the animals with no other researchers willing to do so. Yes, other researchers, namely the sensible people in the room. Taste described as crunchy and very spicy with a small hint of beef and a large hint of weird. Oh my giddy aunt. Tall, thin aluminium box packaged in an unknown language. Opening this can caused a chemical reaction with the liquid inside the can. Liquid was apparently not intended for oxygenated atmosphere and detonated violently. That's what happens when you shake a fizzy drink a lot and then you open it. That happens and then your mum kills you. Right then, liquid was apparently not intended, yes, causing several injuries and killing 2 researchers. Testing discontinued. Vaguely sensible decision there, mate Rooney. And area cleared. Testing area observed to smell like citrus for several days. It was either food and drink, nothing else. How awful. Let's call it a day. I enjoyed that. That was quite entertaining. Oh goodness, there are things to talk about. It's 5 minutes to 4 o'clock. Oh my giddy aunt. Is that when we clock out? It's quite early. You're not coming. I don't know. Who's Ghent? I don't remember a Ghent. Oh, that was you. I'd forgotten about you for a minute. Doesn't suit me. What doesn't? What are you talking about? Aren't you forgetting somebody? Wish more people would forget me when they're organising social events. We're going to attend the monthly lecture. What, you mean like the one I had yesterday? Please, no. Monthly lecture. Each month the Foundation invites someone famous to hold a lecture to share new knowledge and insights pertaining to SCPs. This month's lecture they invited Dr. Trevor. He holds a high reputation within the Foundation. Oh. Cool. Okay, so when you said someone famous, you just meant someone from within the Foundation, not like, you know, George Clooney. Alright, fair dues. Okay, I'll go as well if you don't mind, or do I have other jobs to do? I'll send you the link. Oh, how very kind of you. Oh, goodness. I also love that we never go anywhere. What do we have our arses glued to the chairs? Daniel Trevor. Yes, Daniel and Dragons. Alright. Gotta be better than Dungeons and Dragons. Could be much freaking worse. We can have any more bizarre thing. Again, what is this with this multiplayer connection? It wouldn't be much of a conference if it was just one person, would it? I'll rest my voice for a minute. A long minute if the loading screen doesn't hurry up.
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people. Today I'm going to tell you a story no one else has heard before. A real story of mystery and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story. The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel.
This is far too cheerful. Suspiciously cheerful.
One day, out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry. To make sure he didn't spread it to others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic. And so, in the attic he lived, all on his own.
For what, a week?
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, you'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle.
I hope you practice well and prepare for next month's art festival.
But Mrs. Page, the melody is so difficult.
Don't give up, boy. You don't give up before you fight.
No, you give up afterwards once you've been given a black eye and lost 6 teeth. This game has a variety of styles. Press the D button and see what happens, I suppose.
Daniel was reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page, and he knew he should listen. And so he practiced the penny whistle.
Oh my Gideon, are we going to turn this into a rhythm game? Please no. Oh, what the how does this work? With enormous difficulty. Oh, goodness. This is literally a... I was not expecting to play bloody Guitar Hero today. But here we are. Oh goodness, I pressed the wrong button. I'm not tremendously good at this. I can't play the piano frightfully well. By frightfully well, I mean at all. Oh goodness. You know what would really help if the buttons it had picked were actually like above and below each other rather than to the left and the right?
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
Huh? Who's there?
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
Quick, turn the page. Those old bloody audio books, read-along books. Oh goodness, I'm actually allowed to play the game. Well, golly, I didn't see that coming. What the hell is this game? Never in my life have I seen so much variety within the space of one game. My goodness, there's a teddy bear over here. Is this where I sleep? My giddy aunt, this is a bit bleak, isn't it? I think you just send him home, for crying out loud. Is that a mouse?
It was a mousetrap, and there was a red origami paper dragon inside of it.
As opposed to origami made of beef jerky, I suppose.
Daniel carefully removed it. It was marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was damaged. But Daniel found a way to repair it.
Again with the dialogue and the text not matching quite. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Choose items to repair dragon with. Well, don't pin it. That will hurt a lot. Also, don't use a stapler. That will hurt. Oh dear. Let's try this. I suppose I have to use this one first. I don't know which is the broken bit. This bit, I assume. Oh goodness, I think I mended it. I did it.
Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air, imagining that it soared over all the world below.
I'm guessing it magically came to life and did just that.
He played and played with the paper dragon.
Wee! Woo! Dragon! Soar!
Back in the days before video games.
In the warm afternoon sun, Daniel had to fight his eyelids just to keep them open.
Could it be? Or is this all just a dream?
I don't know, but this kid sounds spaced out.
The next day, with boredom and loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
Oh my giddy, do I have to mend this as well?
Our town is located in the plains where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
I don't know anything about earthquakes. We don't have them here, thank goodness. But 17 fault lines sounds like a lot. I imagine most places have none. So, now what?
A scrunched up ball of paper rolled over to his feet.
Where did this paper ball come from?
Just as Daniel went to pick it up, the ball suddenly came to life, and it rolled away, Daniel chased after it.
I don't think this is an SCP. I think this is just a kid that's having a hell of a lot of lobster before bed and is having a hell of a dream. Do I get to play the game again? Oh, I do for a while. Isn't that tremendous? I love the art style. It's very... Well, it's quite unpleasant in the sense that it looks like about 15,000 snails have crawled over about every single square millimetre of my room. But, you know, ignoring that, it's quite charming. Oh, goodness, it keeps the scampering away from me. This would be a good way to keep your children fit and healthy, wouldn't it? Keep the dog entertained while you're at it. I've cornered you now. Oh, goodness. It slipped betwixt my legs and I didn't catch it. Need a net.
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it. Before his very eyes, the paper ball began to grow, bigger and bigger. At that moment, a red figure suddenly appeared. The red figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box.
Ah, yes.
Daniel studied the red figure carefully.
Cardboard, the famous bane of electricity. What's that? You got an electric fire? Chuck some cardboard on it. Oh, man, definitely. This is a very weird story. I'm really glad I decided to play this evening, because my giddy aunt did I need a good laugh. What the hell is this? I have never in my entire life watched an anime, but I think this is probably a bit what they're like. Just completely wild, crazy nonsense.
It had a sticker on its fluttering wing. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming. Thank you for saving me.
Daniel was grateful and very happy. He walked closer to the paper dragon, but the paper dragon seemed timid and afraid and backed away. Just then, Daniel had an idea.
Why do I get the distinct impression we're going to turn into the penny whistler of the attic?
He took out his penny whistle and slowly played a tune.
Yes, very slowly, please. It's the only way in the entire world I'm going to survive this. Also, where did the pianoist come from? You should get a good long time to figure out what you're going to do. And I think if you practice this for a while, as with most musical instruments, you probably get a bit better at it, but I'm still quite rubbish at it. Admittedly, this isn't frightfully difficult, but you know. It's also quite pretty, I must say. They've done a decent job with the music. This is why people don't make YouTube videos of playing rhythm games, because there's not a hell of a lot for you to do. Oh, goodness. I thought I'd done it. I thought I was finished. I thought the symphony was complete, but apparently not. There we go.
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. It began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air. Soon the two were playing and dancing, just like old friends.
Right. Okay. Not entirely sure why the notes after being played turn into telegram logos, but we'll pretend like that isn't happening and carry on with our lives.
The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
Why do I get the distinct impression that old Mother Hubbard from downstairs is going to come up here and bollock this all up in a minute?
My cherished friend, after many lonely years, we finally meet again. Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful of that instrument. But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable. Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit any time.
The piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic.
Right. I think the simplest explanation is that somebody has switched little Danny's chickenpox pills with some very, very seriously strong LSD.
Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with excitement in his fingertips.
Oh goodness, what am I doing? It's here. Oh. Oh, I think I have heard of an SCP that involves little paper dragons, doesn't it? In the Unity remake of SCP Containment Breach. Goodness, that wasn't a good way to get things going, was it? That had a box that was full of paper dragons in it, wasn't it?
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
Good friends he's got, 'cause they'll humour his madness.
That cat's name is Mrs. Carter. Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends. That's Duke, Mrs. Jessica's pet. He doesn't like Rainy Day or Mrs. Carter. Only smoked sausages for his taste. And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings, as if it didn't understand him.
Ah yes, the famous universal sign language of what the hell. I don't think that's how you communicate that. But alright.
Well, since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny? I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together in the attic.
Let's play cat.
Ah yes, dragons. Famous for their ability to hold baseball bats. They're so popular as mafia enforcers. Oh goodness, I actually have to do this. Oh, how does this work? Hold E to charge. Press E to throw. Go! This isn't baseball, this is fetch. How under the sun does this make any sense? Thanks. My giddy aunt. I feel like it'd be better to play this with Chester or whatever his name was. Oh, I can wander about and do this and everything.
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
A stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks, and it seems even stronger than last time.
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open, and thick clouds of smoke billowed out, followed by several paper balls. Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation, and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost. He moved the box to the center of the attic. Facing it, he practiced his penny whistle, day in and day out.
Do I have to do that again? No, he's doing it for me. Thank goodness for that.
As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother. One day, the box suddenly began to move.
communicative sort, isn't he? Can I just ask, why did that news anchor describe the fact that there was a literal earthquake occurring, a thing that's going to destroy infrastructure and kill people, as if it was describing a baseball game, with great gusto and vigour?
2, 3, 4. This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
Right. Well, at least that explains where the dragon went. They were going to make a little mischief.
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8!
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other.
Might I suggest a paper shredder next time?
Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious. Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power. The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball. And then came another paper dragon.
You know, this would be cool if this was constructed out of something other than stationery.
The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box. The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
Right, so essentially what you're telling me is that there's a moving box in an attic somewhere, goodness only knows where, and every now and again it has some sort of temper tantrum, and when that happens it causes the entirety of the world to shake itself to pieces. Alright, fair dues. In fairness, it's one of the least weird things that's ever happened in the franchise. Oh goodness, this is my job, isn't it? Oh goodness, let me collect you. Pick up gently, flatten slowly. Don't think you can flatten something gently. Alright, let's do a bit more medicine. There we are, all mended.
Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to gush from the box. The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison. The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
Oh no, not again. Oh my goodness, I'm not tremendously good at this. It's also gone quite loud all of a sudden. I like to talk. The trouble is that I must focus. I must focus, or else the mistress will whack me for not paying attention to my chords. This is a really freaking weird bit of game, right? Like, this is genuinely one of the weirdest games I've ever played, for the fact that it just won't stick at any one thing for more than 2 minutes. And that's genuinely quite amazing. Oh dear, I had to do 2 at the same time then. It's every man's dream, that is. I presume there's some sort of achievement if you get some sort of super-duper high score on this. However, it might shock you to learn that I'm not tremendously good at scoring, nor am I particularly good at music, so putting the two together, you've got yourself a recipe for a bollock up. Bollocks, I'm kitty answers now. Slightly regret putting the volume so much higher in OBS now, but never mind. I'm freaking deaf doing this. Oh, come on, just end. Draw out a good piece. Oh, bollocks. It's supposed to end on a good note, and I ended on a balls up. Never mind.
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
And rabbits. Or Skyrim, as we otherwise know that world to be. Right, alright. Goodness.
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
Right, do I have to read that?
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned. They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever, and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
Again, dare I say it, but this would be a hell of a lot more dramatic if we weren't talking about stationery. You can talk about ferocious attacks and demonic villains, but at the same time we're talking about, we're talking about pieces of paper.
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box. Daniel still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again.
He didn't understand what they meant. They said they're going to blow up his house. It's quite clear what that means. At least it is in my book.
A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the penny whistle very, very well. But the paper dragons never returned.
Put in bag. What am I putting in my bag? Put this in my bag, and put my Lego in my bag, and put my singular playing block in my bag, and my ball for playing fetch, and my books as well. Now I can leave and go home, I suppose, after not zipping my bag up.
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
It's a frightfully mature way of looking at things.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box. However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
What's happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
Oh good, my job again. I'm glad we've got a bit more gameplay to do, but you know. Well, get on with it, man. I haven't all day, and neither do these poor dying dimwits. Do I need to actually get my bag? Oh no, here they are. There's only some that are worthy. There's only some that have got insurance. My giddy aunts. Again with flattening these things, for crying out loud. Yeah, alright. This is really weird. It's also dragging on a little bit. But, it's a nice story. I'm just not entirely sure this is the time or the place to tell it. But here we are. We're in this deep. I suppose we better just get on with it at this point. I'm going to run out of stickers at this bloody run. I thought you had to be a teenager to end up with that many scrunched up tissues in your room after a week locked inside.
Daniel away, subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move. Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violent lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger, now with a magnitude of 7.1. Heaven almighty, are we doomed?
You're not helping, mate. Also, why haven't you left your radio studio?
Unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragon struggled against it, with no means of fighting back. At this critical moment, two paper dragons shined brilliantly. Together, they heroically crashed their bodies into the giant.
Turn the page.
Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple.
What a tragedy. Suddenly the story's over.
The figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible.
Sounds like an uncle, if you ask me.
The dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still. The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years. My heavens, will this nightmare ever end?
Who, when dealing with an earthquake, sits around listening to the bloody wireless?
With the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance. It was Penny.
Not much of a distance.
It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers, as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what.
Yeah, I was going to say, middle of a battle when you're all about to die and the world is about to crush around your luggos isn't really the time for a bit of a public display of affection.
Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
The huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
I think this story might be slightly less about dragons and monsters and slightly more about what happens to a young child's mind when they're socially deprived. But we'll leave that discussion for another day, for I don't have a PhD in psychology. Oh goodness, do I have a litter picking job to do? Oh, possibly, yes. It's just a hell of a lot less than I thought it would be. Oh goodness, that's because it's all in the sky. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes, this is interesting, if a bit weird. Yes, this much like the beginning of the game is it doesn't seem to have a tremendous amount of gameplay to it, but it's certainly interesting. I don't really see what this has to do with SCPs apart from a box full of dragons, of course. Oh goodness, this is like another one of those cognitive tests you made me do the other day, isn't it? Oh darn it! I reckon that piece probably goes there, and then that piece probably goes there. Looks like it's made out of bacon. There we are. I've made a whole sheet of paper. How the hell do I fold this thing without breaking it?
My friend.
Oh, well, toodle pip, old boy.
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
No comment. Is that it?
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
Oh no, don't make me do it again. Don't make me do it again!
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
Come on, mate, don't get stage fright. Get on with it. Oh, goodness, I am actually expected to do this. Oh, goodness! My giddy aunt. Yeah, we see him coming. When are they going to get here? Yes, this is an interesting story, right? And I apologise I'm going to talk over all the lovely music. But, you know, it's probably copyrighted anyway, and yammering over it is definitely going to deal with that issue. Yes, it's very interesting, and it's a nice way of telling the story of the of telling the story of the SCP, but it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's not quite what you expect. My giddy aunt, that was distracting. Yes, it's perhaps not quite what you expect when you download a game like this of bollocks. It's not a games platform called Bollocks. That would be a good name, though. I would quite like a games platform which just collects all the worst games off all of the other places and it's just called Bollocks. That would be quite amusing. Sadly, I don't think any such thing exists. But, yes, it's not quite what you expect when you download a game like this off Steam to find this, but still, it's quite unique. By the rainbows and the stars, we're going to hear The More You Know in a minute.
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer.
Mainly because no one can hear the answer because the music's so loud!
Protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
Which is why there's no more earthquakes, apart from all of the earthquakes that are happening all the time. My goodness. Well, that was interesting and all, but also a bit weird. Okay. What? Just a whole heckin' helping of what? Also, why do I not have a logo? Never mind. By which I mean an avatar. What happened to those cute little ones? Where are they being contained now? I don't know, and I doubt we're going to find out, but I'll ask the question anyway. It's now being contained at the Reliquary Research Institute, where Dr. Daniel is the supervising director. That cardboard box has remained silent. Yes, I did notice the fact that Daniel has the surname of Trevor, which is also the doctor's surname, despite the fact that he's now seemingly being called Dr. Daniel. I thought you didn't attend the monthly lecture. Why do I get the distinct impression he's heard the story before or has possibly been involved in it? Under the direction of Dr. Trevor, Gent spent 2 years researching it, so he knows even more than we do. Wow. I wonder what that involved. Probably folding paper for most of the time. I told you all that particular SCP doesn't suit me. No, it doesn't sound quite as exciting as some of the others. But really imagine you tidying up files and piles of kits of fairy books is kind of adorable. Enough already, I'm going back to work. But I'm going to stress the point again. That particular SCP was not my cup of tea. Alright, fair enough. My giddy aunt. I've been here for a month now, and I'm entirely adjusted to the job. Though the content of my work is to simply process the archive files, it is work that will never bore me. A few absurd jokes aside, most of the archives are really rather fascinating. I have been having hallucinations lately, because that's the ordinary sort of normal thing that you talk about when describing your day at the end of a diary entry. I feel like someone is calling me, a voice low and uncertain. They seem to be trying to communicate with me, but I cannot understand a single word they say. In fact, I have planned on seeing a doctor, but Zoe told me it was just the typical rookie syndrome and would clear up in a few days. I hope that's the case, I say in my wibbly-wobbly handwriting. My goodness. Now what? Are we going to the doctor's office? Please don't be an SCP doctor. I wouldn't trust any medicine out of those muppets. Right. Is that quite all for the day? I feel like we've gone far too far, and we've seen far too little. Alright, what do we have here? Oh goodness! Something local! How excellent! SCP-300. Alright, well, it's a little bit of reading, so that at the very least you don't have to hear that kitified voice any longer. Not to imply the voice acting was bad, you know, it was very good, it just wasn't at all what I was expecting. When a single drop of SCP-300-2 is extracted from SCP-1, and the drop is viewed through a standard optical microscope, an animated scene becomes visible. While no two drops have shown precisely the same scene, the scenes generally take the form of a pastoral or woodland scene, consistent with that of goodness knows what. Probably Wind in the Willows, if I had to guess. So far, attempts to analyse the exact chemical components of SCP-300-2 have inexplicably failed, with spectrometers reporting wildly variant or false data, thus making attempts at replicating it impossible. SCP-300-2 also invariably evaporates after being drawn outside of SCP-300-1, despite all attempts at stabilizing the substance or controlling laboratory conditions. SCP-300 was first documented along with Redacted after being recovered from the attic of a row house in Redacted in 1863. How did SCP-143 get found in 1905 and SCP-300 was found in 1863? That doesn't make any sense. Never mind. Following a raid by agents of the Royal Society for the Security, Containment and Protection. Oh, good. I'm glad that the British are to blame for this. Good. I feel quite proud of myself now. Excellent. Good. I'm glad it's all my fault. Alright, that's good. That's good to know that it's all of the blame for this can be put at my door. Isn't that tremendous? Right then, I think that's enough for this. I don't know if we'll do more of this or whether or not. I was very curious to see what else the game would have in store, so I wanted to play a little bit more of it. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much gameplay there is and how much gameplay there isn't, as it seems like some, like the one that we've just seen with the dragon, seems to be more like a visual novel, versus the one about Pony Station seems to be more of your sort of traditional horror game. So it's very varied, and I very much like that. But it is all a bit weird and strange. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll do more or not. I am still very curious to see what else is within this, but I don't know as how entertaining that's going to be if we're going to spend most of the. If we're going to, I'm sorry, what under this? Why are you stealing soft drinks from other countries? That doesn't seem thoroughly fair. Never mind. Yes, it's good. It's very professionally put together. Lots of good voice acting. It's just quite befuddling at times, but I rather enjoy it in its own bizarre way. So yes, that's a little bit more of SCP Secret Files. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.